brother! You're covered in Bifrost! Watch your left! Another Einherjar! To the left! On your right! Bifrost! Right side, brother!
Last enemy!
Well, if there's more of these Asgard fragments out there, the Einherjar will continue to be a nuisance for the realms.
Only if we do nothing. The realms will never heal if they remain.
How many more?
Only one way to find out.
Freya, when Hildisvini went to Helheim, how did he not freeze to death?
A perk of the Jofur.
The boar-shifting warriors of Vanaheim, as wise in statecraft as they are deadly on the battlefield.
So they may shift into whatever form they like.
Sure, so long as the only two shapes they'd like to shift into are human and boar.
Freya, something is on your mind. What is it?
Freyr's sword. I'm glad he got it back.
Odin stole it?
Not quite. It couldn't be stolen. It had to be given freely. Freyr had it forged in his younger days, imbued with its own motives and passion. For centuries, he swore he would only ever set it down in death or upon meeting the love of his life. Both he and the sword were romantic.
Wait. Are you ready for combat?
Above you! Watch out! Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Enemy behind you, Kratos! What has you behind you!
I don't understand why they keep fighting. Can't they sense Odin is dead?
They are soldiers. They will always be loyal to him, alive or dead. It is a matter of honor.
Yes, they will continue to follow his orders and keep the realms under his thumb.
Not for long, they won't.
Freya, you spoke of your brother's sword. How did Odin acquire it?
I'll answer this one. Odin, disguised himself as the most beautiful person Freyr had ever seen.
This separated Freyr from his sword.
Oh, with embarrassing speed.
I am glad Freyr ultimately retrieved it.
Me too. My little fool.
Near the little shop I'm running out in the Alpine Desert, there's something y'all are probably gonna want to see. What you need? Want to talk for a spell?
So much for drinking in peace.
Odin is gone.
So they say. Hence the state of teetotaling perfection you see before you. The man before you is as sober as the day he was born.
You are still drinking.
This is goat's milk.
It is brown.
It was an ugly goat. Look, the pointers. It actually happened. A man lives with a boot on their face long enough. They lose hope their cheeks will ever feel the same. None of us ever really thought we'd get rid of Odin. That we did, and that you helped. Well, it's not something anyone's likely to forget.
Thank you.
Yeah, well. Same to you.
Brother, I've heard my share of stories about your homeland, but I've also heard that you once fought in a tournament.
I fought in many contests.
But this particular one, I heard you did battle with beasts, scoundrels, princesses, the undead, automatons, and history's greatest musician. That's not true, is it?
I would not speak of this.
Fair enough, brother. I just had a thought. With Asgard destroyed, where will the Einherjar go?
Valhalla exists both inside and outside of Asgard. Who knows what became of it?
Aye. Suppose they'll have to find rest somewhere.
Something you might want to see out there.
I look forward to exploring Alfheim and not having to fight elves.
Oh? What makes you think that's an option?
They've united, haven't they? What possible reason would they have to attack us?
Sorry to say, but there are still plenty of elves out in the Barrens eager for conflict.
But why? Freyr united them. They fought together at Ragnarok.
For those who have spent their lives in combat, peace is not always an option.
Wait a bloody moment. Is that?
Thor's hammer. And his daughter.
I'll make you proud, Dad.
Well, good for her. Freya, will you continue that story about your brother? He stumbled into Alfheim, became a legend, and left?
He did make a lasting impression. So when at last he returned, he was uniquely situated to gain the trust of both sides and help to create a truce. The problem was, both sides trusted only him. So the peace could only last as long as he stayed around to keep it. And with the long war dragging on without an end in sight, I suppose making any kind of peace was an irresistible notion for him, even if it meant having to rule.
Careful, brother! It's covered in bifrost!
I'm glad we can help these Einherjar on their way, even if they hate us for it.
They do not need to spend their afterlife serving a cruel god any longer.
Agreed. Mimir, there's something I wanted to ask you about. Hildisvini told me about your visit to secure Hel's army, but was reluctant to elaborate when it came to negotiating with Krastaldir.
Ah, yes. Well, I can see why he'd hold off on such a subject until he saw if we survived the battle.
Mimir, what exactly did you promise the large bird?
Oh, nothing too horrifying. It's just that she'd like to retire.
Retire? Hel's eagle wants to retire?
Indeed. And don't ask me what she expects to do with her free time. I assure you there is no reassuring answer.
Can she even do that? Not be Hel?
Apparently so. She just requires release. Someone else to step in and become Hel, as it were.
Not exactly an office many would wish to occupy.
Aye. Terrible weather, infinite hours, and the possibility of unleashing terrible mischief on the realms if they're careless.
Set that aside for now. Come.
Well, how about that? Didn't I tell y'all there'd be something to see? Oh, heading up already? Got time to chat?
Watch out! Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Shield strike!
Bifrost!
I wonder how many of these fragments of Asgard there are.
A realm's worth at least, so I'd say we have our work cut out for us.
To Vanaheim, then.
Sounded like Lady Sif managed to convince the old boar to shelter the Aesir refugees.
It was his idea.
Oh?
To foster peace among the Vanir and Aesir.
That's brilliant. Shifty bastard must be trying to prove he can out-diplomat me.
At least he's not convincing her to marry someone, like some other diplomats would.
A deservedly low blow, Your Majesty.
Anytime. So, how worried should we be, Mimir, about the Hrasvelgr situation?
Oh, it'll be trouble for all of us if the position is filled by someone unfit. Or worse, if they aren't completely trustworthy.
But if she were to leave without a replacement?
Complete chaos, yes.
Well, I'm sorry I asked.
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Right leg!
Impressive!
Behind! Down!
Another camp defeated.
Aye, and one step closer to giving the realms a shot at healing.
Regarding security. Kratos, Freya, welcome back. Mimir.
Lady Sif,
Freya.
it speaks volumes seeing you here in person. The first of the Aesir to visit us in peace.
Really, Your Majesty?
It's the capacity of the Vanir's forgiveness that speaks volumes.
We know Asgard was more than Odin and his Einherjar. If they'll help us rebuild, they're more than welcome to stay.
Aesir and Vanir living together. I never thought it possible.
I imagine a severe lack of options for the Aesir helped ease things along.
Oh, Mimir. It has truly been a pleasure not listening to your prattling commentary for the last 100 winters.
Well, excuse me, milady.
100 winters of Mimir bleating at court? I think I'd rather be exiled.
Indeed. Oh, the stories I have.
Really? Do tell.
Well, everything appears to be in order here, diplomacy administered, and all's well. Let's leave these two to their planning, shall we?
Where can we sit?
sky looks strange over there. Perhaps another piece of Asgard.
Incoming back here!
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost!
Nothing! Alpha!
Right, you watch out!
Break its concentration! Quickly!
Seems for every camp we destroy, we find two more.
It's almost impressive.
I got new stuff for ya. You need it? I got it. Very fierce. Want to talk for a spell?
Back to my story. The Enlightenment-seeking laird and his followers swore off women and drink for an entire summer. One day, I watched as the laird and his brother took their hunt. There they found, at the banks of a river, a lady as... fair as
No
any
more for now. Focus.
Asgard! So you brought Kratos?
Incoming! Back here! Front of boat, Bifrost!
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost!
From behind! Incoming!
Behind you! Behind you!
Steady your guard!
This is truly thankless work.
It must be done.
I'm sure the civilians we're protecting would thank us. Well, thank both of you. Me, they would just point at and scream.
It does not.
As I was saying about the laird and his brother, all summer they'd upheld their oath to avoid the touch of woman. Yet here before them stands a fair maiden in need of their help to cross the river. The laird doesn't miss a beat. He hoists her onto his shoulders, carries her across, sets her down, doffs his cap, and fords back across to his brother, who is dumbfounded, can't even bring himself to speak. The day stretches on, the laird carries on hunting, and his brother quietly gnashes his teeth down to powder. You'd better pause there.
The rider healed his mouth! Enemy behind you, Kratos!
This is the last.
I feel bad for the Asgardians, and even worse for the Midgardian refugees. Learning the god they indebted themselves to didn't care for them at all. Such profound betrayal.
Aye. Their homes will not be the only thing they will be rebuilding. I might finish my story from before. The Laird had abruptly broken his oath by carrying the maiden across the river, and his brother spent the afternoon biting his tongue in confusion and simmering outrage. Finally, the dam breaks. "Brother," he cries, "how could you do it after everything we've sacrificed? How could you break your vow like it was nothing, carrying that lass on your shoulders like you were a Shetland pony?"
Enough talk for now. Be ready.
Careful, brother! You're covered in bifrost!
Behind you! Sigil magic could break through their shields! Behind you!
I believe that was the last stronghold of the Aesir.
So, Odin's oppressive ways have finally ended.
Are you satisfied?
Yes. Perhaps the realms may finally find peace and healing.
I got new stuff for ya.
Hang on a minute. Is this a prison?
It would seem so.
Let's continue. Might be something useful inside. This place goes deep. We should head downward.
Ah, yes. I'm sure there's nothing especially dangerous at the bottom of an Asgardian prison.
Behind you! Look out!
If the Einherjar survived Ragnarok, perhaps some of the inmates did as well.
Let us find out.
There must be a way to reach the lower levels. Just need to find a way down.
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost!
The Alpha!
Behind you! Watch out!
Dwarf.
Recognize him, Mimir?
I do not, sadly. Of course, the Einherjar disappeared a fair few dwarven rebels during the occupation. I suspect this is one of them.
What's the chain do, I wonder?
Behind you! Look out!
The Alpha!
That's an elf, but not a particularly high-ranking one. So what did Odin have to gain by imprisoning them?
I'd say information. But why keep them locked up afterward? Why not just kill them?
Careful, brother. These prisoners may not be as grateful for their freedom as one would hope. Oh, well, you're very bloody welcome.
The Alpha!
Nasty hit! You all right, brother?
From behind! Incoming!
I don't know. A gardener, perhaps? Dreamshade is difficult to keep alive, even under the best conditions, but this... He gave all his strength to keep it alive.
Then it is right. You should have it.
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost!
Freya! I can't believe it.
Wait, that can't be. Lord Tyr.
Is this an illusion?
No, brother. No, I think it's the real deal.
Mimir? Is that you, old friend?
In all the important ways, aye.
There was such a commotion. If Odin learns what you've done...
Odin is dead.
The realms are at last free of him. You're safe.
Odin's dead.
And Asgard fallen.
So the reign of the Aesir is truly over. That's quite a lot to take in. And you are?
His name is Kratos.
Kratos. I know that name.
Come. You need real shelter. Food.
No. No, what I need most now, I think, is to reflect on what you've told me. I need space, if you would grant me that.
Very well. Our home is in the realm between realms for the moment. You can find us there when you're ready.
Kratos. I know you from somewhere. I'm sure it will come back to me.
Until then. You believe that was truly him?
It's hard to trust anything after what we've been through. But with Odin gone, I've no cause to doubt it.
Our paths will cross again. Of that I'm sure. Where to now?
Well, now we know what this prison's for. This is where Odin stashed those he would camouflage himself as.
Makes sense. If you're going to imitate someone, you wouldn't want them walking around.
Why not kill them?
He must need them alive in order to assume their form.
Aye. Odin likely wanted Tyr dead for a multitude of reasons. But he knew Tyr would be more useful alive.
Your god of war has truly returned. What now?
He'll want to stretch his legs, I imagine. Imprisonment stokes wanderlust. Not that I need to remind any of us of that.
Aren't y'all looking lovely today?
We've need of your services.
Y'all feeling, crafty? My lady? Probably melt that down, sure. Oh, heading up already? Got time to chat?
Freya, look. I did not think anything grew here.
We're heading back to Charlie?
Yes.
He's not gonna be very happy with me.
No.
Charlie. I'm sorry, I have no excuse for neglecting you. I will do my best to earn it.
Look here, Freya.
Merkweed. I know, but I can't stay. There's still things I must do. Kratos, I should look for someone who can watch over him. Permanently.
Ah, if I had a stomach, it'd be twisting right now.
Odin is gone. There's no remaining threat.
No, it's from excitement. Hardly any non-giants have gotten the great privilege of visiting the realm of the Jotnar.
It's truly an honor to be among a very select few. So this is Jotunheim.
As beautiful as the stories, and then some.
Company's here, Finn.
Engaboda.
Kratos, Mimir, Freya, it's good to see you.
I wish to thank you for creating a path out of Asgard for us.
Aye, a true pleasure to meet the lassie who saved our skins.
Indeed. Your giant stuff magic is truly a marvel.
We were so glad we got there in time. Freya, your brother's sacrifice won't be forgotten.
It won't.
I will say, you've made quite the impression on our Atreus' heart.
Nornir.
Oh, like you weren't thinking it, brother.
Ahem. You're a cherished ally, Angrboda. I hope we cross paths again.
I imagine we will. There's lots to do, and I'm just getting started.
Boy.
Kratos, the last time you were here was because of Faye, right?
You saw this in prophecy.
Your son told me. It's a beautiful place to rest.
It is what she wished. Angrboda, you are the last giant left in Jotunheim.
No, actually. My grandmother, Gryla. She's, not really one for visitors, but she's still here. She's helping me forage at the moment.
After all you've done, lass, she must be so proud to have a granddaughter such as yourself.
She might be. Someday. I don't know quite yet, but I think it's a start.
Beautiful.
The flower.
Incredible.
You painted these shrines.
Some of them. Some I finished for my mother.
Your work is beautiful.
Your skill with a brush is unmatched, Angrboda.
My son. He draws.
He told me.
Although he'd do well to learn from your use of color.
We come from a long line of artisans, so he has it in him. He just needs some discipline to bring it out.
I like you.